Arsenal overcame Athletic Bilbao thanks to two goal-scoring subs, Martinelli and Trossard. Martinelli came off the bench for Eze, scored with only 36 seconds on the clock. Danny, their £250 million summer spend, has it left them with a fully locked and loaded squad truly built for success this time?
It's looking that way. I mean, they've got competition for places everywhere, all over the pitch. Got 4 good centre-halves now, full-backs competing. Their forward line, they've got an abundance of talent, good variation, well organised, always brilliant defensively. I mean, there's no excuses now.
Yeah.
They are covered. Every base is covered.
Have they got better depth than Liverpool?
Yeah, I think defensively for sure. I mean, attack-wise, Liverpool have got a lot of options as well, so you wouldn't kind of be worried for Liverpool in that respect. But the 4 centre-halves they've got are all very, very capable. Arsenal and Liverpool don't quite have that.
Right.
But yeah, they're going to be up there, Jim. They're a very good side.
Yeah.
And Arsenal don't have to play particularly well to win, a bit like Liverpool recently, to be honest. But if you think of Odegaard and Saka, Havertz all being out last night.
Ben White.
A year ago.
Saliba.
A year ago, if they were going into that game with those players out, I think most people going, they might struggle. And now, it's not really being talked about.
Great point. It's a great point. And now we're in the territory, Simon, of talking about finishers. I think it was Eddie Jones, wasn't it? When he was
Just out of
in charge
curiosity,
of
why
England.
are we phrasing the question? Are they based upon a result against Atletico Bilbao, who've been beaten at home in the last 2 games by Alaves and Osasuna?
No, I'd have said the same last week.
So, I mean, but the genesis of the question that we're doing is because they've beaten Atletico Bilbao, which everybody said before the game they were going to, and quite frankly they should do, and a team that's, as I say, just lost at home in the last 2 games against Alaves and Osasuna without scoring a goal.
No, but hang on, they've got huge depth that they didn't have before.
Sure.
Declan Rice coming off the bench at the weekend.
Yeah, no, what Simon's saying is why is the question coming after a win against an average side? I think the question...
They lost to Liverpool.
Yeah, but in a very...
But they still lost.
Game.
Yeah, but Simon, Danny's made a good point. There is real depth. It's staring us in the face. No Saka, Havertz, Saliba, Ben White, Odegaard last night. And he didn't rely in the starting 11 to get them through the tie. It was the finishers who got them through the tie.
Fantastic. But put that lack of depth, that depth they've now got, which is replaceable with the players that they've put in play, might not have beaten a better side. So they've beaten an average side.
They might not, but they've got more chance because they've got more strength. But it doesn't mean they're going to get over the line.
No, true, Danny. But it was a lack of depth, Simon, that cost them last season.
Well, Well, was it? Or was it an inability? Yeah. Hold on. Was it an inability to buy a player in January because they made ridiculous offers for players at the last minute to be able to get over the challenges that they had of losing Havertz and Gabriel Jesus and not having a striker?
But that's fair, but that's still a lack of depth.
Sure. But what I'm saying is that the argument that we're making now is that the depth that they've got, based upon current performances, and when they've come up against an elite side, when they had their depth, they still got beat. This is not an elite side. So the question is, can they overcome Liverpool? If the argument is, can they win the Champions League? Well, who knows? Because we're seeing at this moment in time Real Madrid in some form of mediocrity, I think. And I don't think Real Madrid are going to dominate the Champions League this year.
But would you not concede with the depth they've now got, though, Simon? They stand a much better chance of going all the way in
Yes.
But I don't need to concede it. I accept it because I've said for the last 2 seasons, Arsenal need to spend 250 million quid a year to stand still.
Right.
Stand still
So you
means...
accept it?
No, to stand still. Not to win leagues. I don't know whether Arsenal... They've got no excuses left now. There's no reasons why people... I know that we're going to talk about Ernesto Valverde's wonderful appraisal of Arteta. If you're spending the kind of dough that you're spending, that he's spending, and producing the kind of players that he's got, and you're doing it season on season on season, and been given the kind of resources that he's been given over the last 3 or 4 seasons, you have every right to be in the conversation about winning leagues and winning competitions.
Well, you're right.
As yet, you haven't.
Well, as you said, Ernesto Valverde, or as you said, Valverde, pre-match in Arteta, he's one of the best coaches in the world and he's showing what he can do at Arsenal. They don't let you play. They press in every duel. They insist. It's hard to press them. They're a team with a stamp on them, and that stamp is Arteta. And now I think, Simon, we all must concede they have the depth that so many Arsenal fans were craving for. Will it take them all the way in a competition like this? That remains to be seen.
So the question that was asked of Arteta and this stamp was, is he brave enough? And the question was asked, and it was answered by people like Emmanuel Petit, who played for Arsenal, that they felt that there was questions still to be asked about Arteta.
True.
You can squeeze the life out of average sides. Let's see you squeeze the life out of top sides and beat them in games in terms of the Liverpools and the opposition that you've got to overcome to win leagues and Champions Leagues.
Right.
Not Atletico Bilbao. They ain't going to be winning the Champions League. They ain't going to be winning La Liga. So what you're doing is you're beating the sides that you should beat.
But
Right,
Danny, I think we're agreed. The squad was thin last season, wasn't it? It wasn't good enough, as it turns out, to win the Premier League or the Champions League. Is it now?
Well, it's got a better chance. They might still fail to get over the line for some of the reasons Simon just talked about. There are people who think they need to be a bit more gung-ho and a bit braver and more creative at times. That might come and grow as the season goes.
in big games.
In bigger games. Yeah. I mean, if you think of Klopp's Liverpool, they were risk takers. Pep's City would steamroll a team. You know, they just batter teams in their success. They just keep going forward. It was football that the fans wanted to see. The thing with Arsenal is in the bigger games, he does tend to be a little bit more cautious.
Who has the aura? There was a thing about City a couple of years ago where people talked about City, they were beaten before they went on the field. Like Liverpool back in the day, teams going out there psychologically beaten. Who has this aura? Because I don't know if Liverpool do, because Liverpool last year were great at certain times, but they weren't as to me, as compelling as previous Liverpool sides, albeit they won the league, of course. And City had this aura. Do Arsenal have an aura? I don't know if they do.
I think teams go to Arsenal.
Fair question, actually.
I think teams go to Arsenal now and think, not much chance here. They're home run.
Really?
Well,
top
same
sides.
at Anfield.
Top sides.
Oh, no, top side. The top sides, you lose that because you've got the best players.
They're the ones that are going to have to compete against the league. They're not going to compete against Leeds, are they?
No, exactly. So we'll wait and see. The question is about depth. They've got it.
Yes, they've got
Is their quality better than PSG's? Is their quality better than Liverpool's? I think they're going to I think they'll go close in both.
We're talking about Arsenal. They might have do they have the quality now to go all the way now that they've got the depth? This is what basically we're talking about. In the past, they couldn't have coped when they were without Saka, Havertz, Saliba, Ben White, Odegaard, as they were last night. Now they do, it seems. And Simon's right. Athletic Bilbao, no world beaters, but they still went there and won. So does that augur well? Many messages coming in, 81089. There's Dave. Arsenal, Jim, no different than last season. Gyökeres is just a flat-track bully. They needed a striker to make a difference versus Liverpool. But I'm not sure it's the right one. Well, we shall see in the fullness of time. But already people are suggesting, the depth is there, but is the quality there? 03717 223344. We'll talk about these finishers that they seem to have with the likes of Martinelli and Trossard in a moment. But I want to go to the phone lines because so many Arsenal fans want to come to air, and that is always good as far as I'm concerned. Arsenal fan Alan. Good morning to you, Alan. What do you want to say, mate?
Morning, guys.
Morning.
Good morning.
For me, yes, we have the depth and we have the quality. The unfortunate thing is, Gyökeres, for instance, we're making him look bad because we don't play to his strengths. Martinelli looked bad last season, but he's the perfect kind of player for Gyökeres because he attacks and gets it straight across. Last season, he had to keep coming back, which affected his game. We need to learn to play more forward, faster, stop bringing it back. Pass back. Because then Gyökeres, if you watch him as a striker, he makes the run, but then the ball isn't coming, so then he has to come back, and then he's not in a position where he needs to be as a striker, so he looks like he doesn't know what he's doing. But if we play the ball a lot faster to him, if we start playing like with a striker that we haven't had for so long, he will look better, we will be more attacking, we will look better. But until we learn to play that way, it will be the same story as last season, unfortunately.
Okay, so a note of caution from you, Alan. I mean, has Alan got a point? What do you make of it, Danny? Is it too early to tell?
Yeah, I mean, I think Arsenal will play a bit differently in different games depending on the opposition. But more importantly, when you have a striker who plays the position and it's his normal job, the players around him will adapt and start to build relationships with him and understand what he needs. It doesn't just take, very rarely you get that cohesion really quickly in forward areas. You know, the other thing with Arsenal at the minute, because they've now got so many variations, you're playing with different players a lot in his first few weeks, Gyökeres. And he still managed to get a few goals. So I'd say just be a little bit patient.
Yeah.
I think he's a real handful. He'll score bags of goals for them.
I think so too.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.